It's very rare that people in the military do well in business.
Why is that?
I sat down with the guy who ran the training program for the Army Rangers. He said people join the military because they have a need to do something greater than themselves. You're willing to lay your life down for our country. That is an all-in, passionate commitment. I am willing to die for my cause. So then they leave the military, they get a job in sales, and their boss says, if you don't make your number, we're not going to make it for the quarter. And they're void of purpose. When you have that great a purpose and that leaves you, it's very hard to replace it with a different purpose.
Interesting. I agree with what he's saying, and I also disagree. I don't think that people in the military can't be successful. I think oftentimes those who served in the military have way more tools at their disposal to be hyper successful entrepreneurs. I do agree with the aspect of when any time somebody transitions out of the military, there's a rediscovering of who are you? What is my identity? Who am I now? And I think people transitioning out the military need to take the time to figure that out. You need to figure out your new why. It's no longer covering the person next to you, right? You need to figure out your deeper why. Your deeper why needs to be based in faith. It needs to be based in your family, based in, whatever your motivation is moving forward. Maybe the motivation that made you want to leave the military in the first place. And that needs to become your new why. That needs to be what you're willing to sacrifice for. And I think a lot of times people struggle with that transition because their whole identity has been wrapped up in being a soldier, airman, whatever, right? And that's the whole reason why they struggle when they leave, because they can't remove themselves from that identity and allow themselves to keep going and now start serving for a greater purpose beyond them, just sacrificing for their family, for their faith, for providing for their kids, whatever it may be, right? So I'd actually say once somebody can overcome that hurdle, which can be quite difficult, man, they have so many tools, SOPs, structures, everything they learn in the military is super translatable to starting a business. And so I think when they get over that hurdle and they decide to start a business, they actually have tremendous step above the average person who is not served. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think?